That girl's gonna lose it all. Mark my words. She don't know what she's doing.
Olivia drove past on her tractor, the engine drowning out the laughter. She didn't look their way, but the corner of her mouth twitched. 3 months earlier, the reading of her uncle's will had given her 70 acres, a failing hay operation, and a cousin who'd never forgive her.
You think planting flowers will pay the note? The bank won't wait on butterflies, Olivia.
We'll see.
She turned and walked out of the bank, her boots heavy on the marble floor, and didn't look back.
They'll see. The land knows better than any of them. It just needs someone to listen.
She tore open the first sack of native seed and scattered it across the ground. Her uncle had once plowed for hay. Purple and gold specks vanished into the earth.
Waste of good hay ground. Ain't gonna grow nothing but weeds.
But Olivia didn't hear them. She was already thinking about roots reaching 12 feet down, holding on when the world went dry.
She's turned hay ground into a playground for bees. You need to call her note before she drags the whole county down.
The loan is current, Michael. I can't act on speculation. Bring me proof she can't pay and we'll talk.
By sundown, Michael was at the diner, sliding into a booth with Tom, Bill, and Earl. He leaned in, voice low and insistent, nursing a coffee he didn't touch.
Holloway's worried. That land's never made a dime, and now she's planting nothing but weeds. Come winter, the bank'll own it, and she'll be out on the road.
3 days later, the bank's formal warning came to Olivia's farm. A letter citing concerns regarding the viability of the current agricultural operation.
They don't understand. The roots haven't even had time to reach.
The first drought signs were already in the fields. Neighboring hay turned brittle and brown in the July sun, while the earth around Olivia's seedlings held a faint, stubborn shadow of moisture. 2 weeks after she scattered the seed, Olivia knelt in the field and saw the first shoots, tiny, pale green, pushing through the cracked surface like hands reaching for air.
She's got green, but green doesn't pay interest, and the bank won't wait for flowers.
He pulled out his phone, scrolled to Holloway's number, and dialed. The call connected on the second ring, and Michael's voice was calm as a blade.
Holloway. The drought's killing every hayfield but hers. She's got no cash crop, and the note's coming due. You need to call it now.
I've been watching the numbers, Michael. I'll make a decision within the week. But I need to see the land for myself first.
By August, the drought had turned the county into a dust bowl. Hayfields were dead, ponds were mud, and the ranchers' cattle started dropping where they stood.
You've seen her weed patch. She'll never make a payment. Foreclose now or the bank takes the loss. It's that simple.
Holloway drove out to the farm with the notice in his briefcase. But when he saw the meadow, waist-high wildflowers, bees working every bloom, he stood motionless at the fence line.
Olivia, I don't want to do this. Your land is the only thing green in the county, but the board is pushing. I have to serve the papers.
He handed her the envelope. Inside, the words notice of foreclosure and a due date. 90 days. The clock had started.
90 days. That's all I get. But it's enough. I'll find a way, or I'll lose it all trying.
From the county road, her 70 acres shone like an emerald in a sea of brown. The only land that seemed to remember what rain felt like.
She's still standing, but 90 days isn't long, and I'll make sure she doesn't last half of it.
The cattle on neighboring spreads were ribs and hide. Now, their water buckets rusted beside them. A vulture landed on a bleached rib cage in Tom's east pasture. Nobody even chased it off. Michael pulled up in his clean truck and leaned out the window with a look that was half smile, half threat.
I'll give you half what the bank says it's worth. Take it and walk away before you lose everything.
It's not for sale, Michael. The land belongs to the bees now, not to you.
She turned her back and walked into the meadow, where the hives were heavy with honey and the drone of wings filled the air. For a week, she extracted golden frames, her hands stained amber, the air thick with the scent of clover and coneflower. She entered 12 jars in the county fair, pinning her hopes on a blue ribbon that might save the farm. The auction date was set, 62 days left. No buyer, no payment, just a piece of paper that could take everything.
Tomorrow they judge the honey. Tomorrow, I'll know if this land has a future.
The county fair judge lifted Olivia's jar to the light. The honey glowed amber, thick and clear, ribbons of gold in the October sun. He took a taste and set the spoon down slowly. "This honey tells a story," he announced. "A story of wildflowers and deep roots." First place, Olivia stepped forward, a blue ribbon pinned to her flannel. The crowd's noise washing over her like a wave. The next morning, the county paper ran a headline. "Local beekeeper wins gold with uncommon crop," but the ink was barely dry when Michael saw it.
First place. She's turned my uncle's land into a pet project, and now she's parading around with a ribbon.
He drove to the bank and walked into Holloway's office without knocking.
The auction's 62 days out. That's too long. Move it up, or I'll sue the bank for ignoring the covenants.
I can put it before the board. Given the drought, an expedited sale can be argued. But it's not my final call.
3 days later, a revised notice arrived. The auction was now just 30 days away, the date circled in red ink.
30 days. I need more than a ribbon now. I need a miracle.
Where's her water coming from? She's sucking it straight out of the ground with those deep roots.
The rumor coiled through the county like a dust devil that Olivia's wildflowers were pulling water from the aquifer, stealing what little the drought had left.
My creek's bone dry, but her meadow's still green. You telling me that's natural?
The county hall was packed. Olivia stood at a folding table with soil reports, her voice steady, despite the wall of crossed arms in front of her.
These roots pull moisture from 12 feet down. They don't touch the water table. Here are the soil moisture tests from the Ag Extension.
Tests don't fill a stock tank. I've hauled water for 2 months while you watch your bees flit around.
The numbers meant nothing to them. The only evidence they could see was her green field and their own dead ones.
They don't want science. They want someone to blame because it's easier than admitting they farmed the same way as their grandfathers.
Tom walked past her fence that evening, empty bucket in hand, and didn't bother to look her way. The ribbon on her shelf felt heavier than a foreclosure notice now. The whole county had turned against her, and the clock was still ticking. The county ag agent showed up at sunrise, soil probe on his shoulder, not smiling. For 3 days, he drilled cores across her meadow and the brown fields beyond, measuring moisture inch by inch. In her kitchen, he laid out the charts, and for once, someone official looked at her without suspicion. He pointed to the numbers. Twice the moisture, roots from deep subsoil, aquifer untouched. His final report stated, "The Callahan Meadow poses no threat to water resources. It is a model of drought-resistant farming." But at the diner, the report landed like a stray leaf. The rumor had already rooted deeper than science.
Don't need a paper to fill a stock tank. Her field's green, ours ain't. That's all the proof I got.
She defaulted on the covenant. I am filing a lien that Honey Money won't pay a dime until a court rules.
The lien was in place by evening, freezing her honey income the day before her first potential buyer emerged.
Water cleared, but my money's locked up. The auction's 3 weeks away, and I am out of legal options.
The next morning, Olivia walked into the bank with the ag report and the blue ribbon in a folder, hoping something might shift.
I've read the report, Olivia. Your land is doing something special, but Michael's lien freezes your account. I can't release a cent.
She's a liability. The lien proves she broke the covenant. The bank has no choice but to foreclose.
The lien makes the loan non-performing. The board is demanding a court hearing. It's set 2 weeks from today.
2 weeks? That's not enough time. This lien is a lie, and you know it.
She's cornered. 2 weeks. And that land is ours.
She left the bank with nothing but a date circled on a calendar and a clock ticking louder than ever. That night, she sat at her uncle's old desk, pulling out every document, every ledger, looking for something to break the lien.
There has to be something in here. Uncle left this land to me, not to Michael. There must be a reason.
Her fingers brushed a locked box she'd never opened, its brass clasp worn smooth by years. She slid a letter opener under the clasp, and the box sighed open, revealing a single envelope sealed in red wax. Inside was the original will, not the copy from the reading. Her uncle's cramped handwriting covered the margins. Midway down the 4th page, a clause she had never heard before stopped her cold. Any heir who attempts by action or law to seize the share of another shall forfeit entirely their own interest in this estate.
Michael's lien, his lawsuit. That's exactly what he's doing right now. A weapon. One filing and he's gone from this land forever.
But she hesitated. This wasn't a trick, it was annihilation. Michael had a wife, a son.
I want to save the farm, not start a war. There has to be another way.
She folded the will, tucked it back into the box, and shut the drawer. The secret would keep.
12 days until the hearing. If a buyer comes through first, I'll never need to use it.
3 days later, the state competition results arrived. She had won it all. The blue ribbon for wildflower honey, a nameplate that read State Champion. Before the ribbon was pinned on, a national distributor called. Their opening offer was 3 times the note.
You are offering what? Triple the note for my entire honey production?
She signed the contract that afternoon, the ink drying as the distributor's truck pulled away with a sample crate. But the payment would take 45 days to clear. Her hearing was just 10 days away.
Holloway. She's not even fit to manage the place. I am filing an injunction to lock her out.
The injunction arrived at her gate 2 days later, demanding she hand over operation of the land pending the hearing.
They're stripping my right to farm my own land until a judge says otherwise. This is theft.
If she couldn't manage the hives, the crop would die. The distributor deal would default.
The clause is the only way now. I didn't want to use it, but Michael just took away my choice.
The preliminary hearing crowded the courtroom. Michael's attorney stood first, arguing the land conversion breached the loan covenant and must revert.
She turned good soil into a weed patch, and now claims a ribbon makes it right. The family land deserves better.
Olivia's counsel submitted the distributor contract and the state ribbon, reading, "A national buyer has committed to triple the note. This farm is viable."
I have a contract for 3 times the note. The land is producing. I can pay the bank tomorrow if you let me.
The judge was unmoved. He ordered the contract funds frozen in escrow, pending a final hearing 30 days away.
She can't touch a dime. 30 more days without income will finish her.
30 more days. They think they're starving me out. They don't know I'm holding a loaded pistol.
The bank will comply with the court order. No funds released until ownership is settled.
A final hearing was set for 30 days. The drought outside had nothing on the dryness of that legal delay.
30 days. Time to set the trap. Michael has no idea what's coming.
Her attorney didn't hesitate. "This clause is ironclad," he said. "If we can show he tried to seize your share, he loses his."
One recorded conversation is all I need. Michael won't resist a chance to gloat. Michael, I am open to a settlement. Come by the farm tomorrow, no lawyers. Just us.
Finally seeing sense. I'll be there.
She set her phone to record and waited on the porch, the will folded in her back pocket.
By any means necessary, Olivia. This land was supposed to be mine. I'll take it, bank or no bank. Holloway wouldn't have called the note if I hadn't pushed. That lien was my idea.
Olivia let him talk, every word sinking into the phone's memory. When he drove away, she stopped the recording. The confession was a bullet waiting for a trigger. 2 days later, her attorney filed the counter-motion with the will and the recording. The trap was set. Olivia walked into the courtroom with her attorney. Michael sat at the plaintiff's table, smiling. Certain he had already won, her attorney rose and presented the original will and a phone. "We submit the forfeiture clause and a recorded admission of intent to seize." He read aloud, "Any heir who attempts by action or law to seize the share of another shall forfeit entirely their own interest in this estate." Michael's lawyer shot to his feet. "Objection. This is late-filed evidence, prejudicial to my client. The judge tapped the bench. Overruled. The recording is admitted. Play it now. The bailiff pressed play. A crackle. Then Michael's own voice cut the silence. By any means necessary, Olivia. This land was supposed to be mine. I'll take it, bank or no bank. And then, Holloway wouldn't have called the note if I hadn't pushed. That lien was my idea.
She recorded everything. The clause. It means I just forfeited my own land.
The gallery of ranchers stirred. Michael's face drained to ash, and even his lawyer went still.
That recording was a private conversation. She lured me there. It's a trap, not evidence.
Olivia walked to the stand, her boots echoing on the wooden floor. She didn't look at Michael once.
I never broke any covenant. My uncle left the land to me because he trusted I would listen to what it needed.
Michael's attorney tried to rattle her, but she answered every question without hesitation. Then Michael stood, face red.
She's lying. This land was supposed to be mine. I only did what was necessary to protect the family.
The judge examined the will himself, tracing the forfeiture clause with a finger. The silence in the gallery grew thick.
I never read that part of the will. Nobody told me about any forfeiture clause.
In that admission, Michael sealed his own fate. Even his own lawyer lowered his head. The judge banged the gavel and called a recess, needing time to review the evidence.
The truth is out. Now we wait for the gavel to fall.
The judge returned, face unreadable, and struck the gavel once. Michael's actions constitute a clear attempt to seize another heir's share. The forfeiture clause is triggered. He loses all interest. The escrow is released to Olivia Callahan. The foreclosure is dismissed. This court is adjourned.
That can't be right. This is fraud. She trapped me. You can't take everything I own. Olivia, after everything I did for this family, you are destroying me.
Olivia didn't flinch. She sat still, hands folded on the table, letting the judge's words settle over the room.
It's done. The land is safe.
The bank will comply immediately. Miss Callahan, your funds will be available by end of day.
The ranchers in the gallery exchanged stunned looks, some shaking their heads, others just staring at the floor. The gavel fell a final time. For Michael Callahan, the world ended in a wood-paneled room on a Tuesday in Drought as the courtroom emptied. Mr. Holloway approached Michael with a second paper already signed.
Michael Callahan, the bank is calling your personal loan. This is a foreclosure notice on your own property.
My home. They can't take my home.
The notice landed in his hands, and for the first time, Michael Callahan looked like a man without a square foot of ground to stand on.
He used his own place as collateral. It's gone.
Never thought I'd see a man lose his home over a bee field.
Olivia walked past them, through the courthouse doors, into a circle of camera lenses. A reporter called her name.
They're not laughing now.
A reporter asked how it felt to be vindicated. But Olivia just kept walking toward the meadow, leaving the noise behind. Behind her, the men who had mocked her stood silent, their empty buckets forgotten at their feet. The distributor's payment arrived within the week. Olivia walked into the bank with a check that covered the note in full.
And I want to buy Michael's foreclosed land. Make the family parcel whole.
By sunset, she held the deeds to everything her uncle had ever owned. The land was whole for the first time in a generation. Michael's truck pulled up at her gate the next morning, engine idling like a wounded animal.
Olivia, please. My wife, my boy, we have nowhere to go. Just give us time.
You tried to take everything from me. I am not offering second chances.
He didn't move, so she walked him down the gravel path, past the hives that hummed with quiet industry.
That way, off my land.
Michael's truck disappeared in a cloud of dust, the sound of his engine swallowed by the whisper of bees.
The land is whole. The bees are safe, and I am still standing.
The drought broke on a Thursday in late March. The sky turned black over the county and stayed that way for 3 days. Neighbors' fields became mud rivers, their cracked soil unable to drink. But on Olivia's land, the water sank straight down. Roots that had held through 3 dry years now drank without drowning. The meadow breathed where every other field choked.
The land knew what it needed. I just let it be.
The bees erupted from their hives, drunk on nectar. By June, she had doubled her hives and signed a second distributor. The ag agent returned, this time with a state official and a clipboard full of questions.
It's simple. Stop fighting what the land wants to do. Plant deep, let the roots work, and keep the bees.
2 months later, the state launched a pilot program based on her methods, drought-resistant pollinator strips, for a dozen counties.
The same men who laughed now ask for advice. Funny how green grass changes a mind.
70 acres had become 140, and the county's only green patch now covered the land Michael lost. 1 year later, at the state agricultural conference, Olivia Callahan walked to the podium, not as a defendant, but as the featured speaker.
They said my beehive farm would fail. When the drought came, only my land survived because I trusted it.
In the audience, Tom, Bill, and Earl sat in the same row, their ball caps in their laps, nodding slowly.
She proved every one of us wrong. I ain't been that humbled since I was a boy.
Olivia raised a jar of her honey, the light catching the gold, and told them the truth.
The land doesn't need us to fix it. It needs us to listen. That's what saved me.
At the back of the hall, a figure stood and turned away before the applause started.
She won. Everything I tried only made her stronger, and I've got nothing left.
Michael Callahan slipped out into the afternoon sun and drove toward a town he no longer belonged to. She finished with a smile, and the title was no longer a question. Only her land survived, and it saved her. The morning mist clung to the meadow, dew catching the first light on every petal. She walked barefoot through the wildflowers, the hives humming a low, steady song behind her. At the fence, a single galvanized bucket lay on its side, rust blooming through the galvanized steel, a relic from that first day when the men leaned on the rail and called her a fool.
They don't come around anymore. No laughter, no threats, just silence and the hum of bees.
Beyond the fence, the county was slowly greening, fields planting cover crops, ponds filling for the first time in years. She didn't move the bucket. It belonged there, a reminder of what the land had withstood, rusted and empty. It was a monument to a drought that had broken so many but had not broken her.
The land remembers how to survive. I just let it remember.
She turned back toward the meadow, where the bees were already working, and the future stretched green and certain. She walked into the bank a final time, the deed to Michael's land already filed, her ledger finally clean.
You paid a debt that wasn't yours and saved the county's respect for this bank. I won't forget it.
She stepped out under a sky scrubbed clean by rain. The road ahead, no longer a deadline. A young farmer stopped her on the sidewalk, his hands calloused but his eyes bright with hope.
You are thinking about converting to cover crops? Start small, 2 acres. Let the roots teach you. The land will tell you what it needs. You just have to listen.
He nodded, and she watched him walk away with that same quiet fire she'd once carried alone. She didn't need to be the only one standing anymore. The land would keep teaching long after her. She drove home through the golden afternoon. The hives, a dark silhouette against the setting sun, and in the fence line, the rusted bucket stayed, a quiet monument to everyone who said she couldn't. She walked into the meadow for the last time that evening, the golden light pulling long shadows behind her. The hives hummed behind her, a sound that had once been a question and was now an answer. A honeybee landed on a canoe flower, wings still, as if pausing to acknowledge the moment.
Everything I needed was right here. I just had to trust it.
She straightened, took one last look at the hives, and walked toward the horizon. The land her uncle left was never supposed to be enough, yet it had saved her, and now it taught a county. In the end, no one stood where the men had stood, and the only sound was the hum of wings. Olivia Callahan walked away, her silhouette small against the gold, a queen among her bees, and the meadow, like the woman who believed in it, simply continued to bloom, because the land that was never supposed to be enough ended up saving more than just herself.